Alright, ladies and gentlemen, karibu sana katika Mzuka Kibao TV. For the second time ni tuko na Nabii Gogo, and of course leo nataka kuongelea vitu ambavyo at least right now watu wengi wanajiuliza sana. Kitu cha kwanza, Nabii Gogo, ni kukaribisha tena. Uko aje bro?
Niko salama.
Uko salama? Naona Mungu amekulinda.
Yeah. Niko salama kabisa.
Kuna story kubwa ambayo inaendelea sasa hii, impeachment ya Gachagua. Tukitoka njia ya politically, labda spiritually kuna connection
ya Gachagua. Itu umejua kile ambacho maybe inaweza ona kwa hii, though hakuna that deep connection kwa hii impeachment yake, because at first Gachagua alikuwa na kiburi fulani. Akiingia he thought that he owns the government, and that's the problem. Then he was talking for himself. He was not a leader. No, when you are a leader, whether you are being elected and other people did not elect you, when you are in that leadership position, you have to consider everybody. Whether they don't like you, they like you. You are leading them, all of them. So when you select certain people because they are coming from, or they favor you during the election time, it becomes a tribalism. So that is not a quality of a leader, because he was having some shares to some people. So he considered some people because these people maybe favored him during the election time, which is not right. And to make the matter worse, the position he's holding is also maybe the presidency positions, whether he's a deputy or whatever, whereby he is leading everybody. Whether even like President Ruto right now cannot even lead only Kalenjin, because that's why he even consider Luos who did not even vote for him. So when you're a leader, you are overall everybody. You are leading everybody, because like now spiritually, when you look the president in spiritually, they have the spiritual rank also. There's nothing you can do to them. That's the problem. That's why you will never hear Ruto is going to die very soon, because there's a lot of spiritual protection he's holding. When he hold that position, it's not by chance. It's not even by luck or by what. It was chosen. Whether he stole it, because spirituality is allowed to grab. Grabbing is allowed, stealing is allowed in spirituality. So you can take something and you own it. So whether he's told that thing, whether he is allowed, is the one ruling. And spirituality, he's having power to do that. So is the command, is having another rank in the spiritual. So Gachagua forgot his position as a leader, and he was trying to behave like a chief who is only ruling a certain community, not every all community. So he being impeached is not even a solution. Whether they impeach him, they don't impeach him, I don't see any value is adding anybody, because whether Gachagua is being impeached right now is not going to add value to our lives. It doesn't. Whether he remain in that position, it doesn't add any value. The only thing which can maybe change is when the people go to election or re-electing another president, or that is maybe it can change, something can change. But when Gachagua is being impeached, because Gachagua cannot even mobilize his community people, so he has no political power. He has only financial power, influence, but he doesn't have a political power like the Raila Odinga. Supposing Raila Odinga is being impeached right now, it could have been public holiday for 3 weeks. I don't know, maybe itakuwa 3 months holiday. Angekuwa yeye ndiye amekuwa impeached akiwa kwa position yake, because of the political influence and power he has. But Gachagua, no. Bado.
Nimeuliza hii swali because where I'm coming from, mtu akipata kazi kubwa then baadaye hii kazi iharibike, mara mingi tunasema huyu mtu labda ni uchawi wa kwao, ni urogi wa kwao. That's why nimeuliza labda hii impeachment ya Gachagua ni spiritual ama ni political.
Ile si urogi. ile si urogi. Because the only thing, though the position yake, so many people wanted it. This is just the political wrangles, and powers they are trying to test their power, who wants to be, because he grabbed it. Remember when he went, there were 3 candidates, I think so. Kinditi was one of them, but due to the financial influence he had and the support he gave in political positions, he was favored because his financial status was higher than all these people. And but when you look it keenly, the characters and maybe, what do you call it, the qualities of being a leader, he didn't had it. In fact, maybe I can say Kinditi somehow can be better than him, if maybe he is. So it's not about witchcraft. This is just about negligence of power. He was given this, but he misused it because he was just verbal diarrheaing with certain words and speaking anyhowly, forgetting that he is a leader and should also keep some of the secrets of being a leader. That's why it's called the sirikali, keeping the secret.
Now, back to tuache politics and things to do with Gachagua. Kuna hao Pygmies, unaona, like mimba yao inakuaga aje, because once again where I'm coming from, mtu akiza Pygmies wanasemaga sijui hizo ni damu ya kina mama sijui nini, unaona. Now Pygmies maisha yao inakuaga aje, like from birth to, mpaka siku anakufa, because hata mimi sijaiona Pygmies kama amezikwa.
Okay, let me start with maybe during the time of conception, when somebody is conceiving. Yeah, there are a lot of negligent women, normally most so ladies, during the time of pregnancy, they should be protected, because that time is when a lot of spirits who want to reincarnate comes and visit those pregnant women. So, or some of these people who have evil eyes can also install certain things in your stomach. I wonder nowadays, I see maybe pregnant women are going for Photoshop and whatever before they conceive, or they deliver. I mean, they go for pregnancy photo shoot, then they post it there. They post the pregnancy. They think that is something which is good for them. Fine, it might be good. Maybe it's a fashion, no problem. But deeply and spiritually, that is not right, because you are selling that baby. Do you know there's somebody who really needs a child? She can't even deliver. She can't even conceive because of some issues. But when they see you having that pregnancy, they admire. But when they admire that pregnancy with evil eyes, they can install a poison into that pregnancy. You can even carry that pregnancy for 9 months and deliver water or air. You can even carry that pregnancy for more than 3 years. The people who are carrying it for 3 years because they have been blocked due to that evil eye that looked on their pregnancy. In ancient time, or in our villages, when you are pregnant, they will hide you. You won't just go around and exposing your belly anyhowly, because there are people who also want that. Don't you know there is also what we call the pregnancy switch? Somebody can switch your pregnancy.
Serious?
Yeah.
How?
The same thing I was saying. When this person is giving birth, she normally gives birth to girls. In African community, we value boys more than even women, right? So when you give birth to girls, and you don't give up birth to boys, it becomes a problem in your society. So you will meet a woman who has been giving birth to boys, to girls. Then you carried a boy in that your womb. Then when you meet, this woman can switch the sex of this infant in your stomach. Yeah.
How old, like the how
old? As long as the infant is still in the womb, it can be switched without even doing anything. Because all the energies, we use energies that some of us, we have certain energies that we don't know. That's what we have some of our witches, but they don't know that they are witches. So when you admire something, that people, when they admire something, it destroys. There are people, when they say something, they make it or they build it. So it depends on which energy do you produce. Okay. So switching is allowed. And also confusion can also happen. Whether you will confuse this pregnancy sex. So the baby will be switched to be a woman, and he was supposed to be a man. So when you give birth to this baby, the doctors will say that hormonal imbalance happens to the baby. So they have the physical features of a woman, but the character is of a man. So what do you call the homophobia? This is Hermaphrodites or whatever, something. This so-called, so it will lead to some confusion in your sex party. So you don't know where you belong, because the character is telling you that you're a man, the other one is telling you, the physical body is telling you you're a woman, or the character is telling you you're a woman, the physical body is telling you you're a man. So it becomes a confusion. That is a spiritual attack. It's not something which is normal also. Okay, leave all on that. Now let's come again. When this spirit, they normally comes at 3:30 to 3:20. They comes and it sleeps with the women and men at night every day.
Kila siku
they come and sleep with people, human beings.
And when you say sleep with people, like they sleep next to you. Sex every day. Kwa hivyo hata wewe pia leo umetembelewa.
It depends. Now, if you know, though, you see, each and every person has their own spiritual partner they have sex with, which is normal to them. That's their guardian angel. They will first break you before any other man breaks you. That's why, for the first time, you will find a child is experiencing wet dreams, and he has never slept with a woman, but he is dreaming that he's having sex. The other ladies, the ladies also the same. Which sex are you having? And you've never had, you've never tasted. Even now sex is tasting, but you are dreaming until you wake up with wet. So that is your guardian angel is breaking your virginity. So when they suppose you have a duty to take, is when they will stick with you. They will continue marrying you. They won't allow you to have any other physical man or a woman. Okay. That intruder spirit, those are the legal principalities. So when we talk about these are we call the legal principalities. These are the legal principalities which brought you here. They are the people who decide for you to come here. And you came with a purpose to complete them. So they reincarnate inside you. Those are legal principalities. So we have illegal principalities. These are intruder spirits. They normally comes and destroy. These are the in English or in this Western country they call them aliens. But we call them spirits or the forefathers or whatever. Okay. So they come because sex is also an energy that makes them live in their astral bodies. So when they come, they sleeps with you, enjoy you fully the way they want. Even in fact they are enjoying you more than your real husband or your real boyfriend. So you are in it. So when you don't realize this, it is attack you are being made, or you are being you are encountering several attacks frequently. They will stick and live inside there. That's why you will not get married. Will not marry. But suppose they come and you get married, they will destroy your marriage. They will destroy maybe make you impotent. So you think you are not functioning when you are having your girlfriend, but at night you are doing your stuff with them. So they won't allow you. By the time supposing you are married, by the way, you can be married and you are okay.
Yeah.
But at which times most people, they will tell you that they are not functioning. And they start taking Viagra. No, don't rush to Viagra before that, because you might be sleeping with these spiritual husbands and you don't know. Try to test yourself outside. If you're functioning outside, the people who are functioning very well outside, but in the house they don't. They don't completely. Ata is mommy completely. The women also, when they go outside, wanna feel very okay. But when they are in the house, wanangalia ukuta. They don't feel, because these women or these people are suffering from spiritual husband and wives. And this spiritual husband and wife, they leads to divorce. So if you don't divorce them, they divorce your partner. And you become single, and you stay. The people are staying for 2 years. Mimi nimekaa 2 years hata sijaifikiria sex because you do think it's normal. It's not normal to you. So they think it's normal to them, but they don't know what is happening to them. Because at night these people comes and sleeps with them. So when you get used to this sex every night, you get fibroids. You get these STIs, UTIs, I mean, a urinary tract infection. You get them. You might think maybe you usually get UTIs for no reason. Maybe it's a effect. You always get itch on your private parts. The feeling of the breast, it's also paining as if you are pregnant. So when these signs you are seeing, there's a spirit sleeping with you. Also, you'll start ovulating. Is it ovulating or going to period? Every time. Imbalancing. So you might think that is maybe because of whatever you normally put here. Maybe it is that, maybe it is not that. You have to be keen. Each and every time when these things sleeps with you, they will leave you bleeding. Will keep on bleeding. And when you go and have sex with a physical man, you'll feel pain. You feel pain. So means feeling pain, you won't enjoy anything with that man. Then thirdly, you will start counting these people, differentiating certain man you want. I need this tall, dark, handsome, and whatever, which is not even existing in the physicality. So you will never find somebody who is more than that spirit sleeping with you. So that spirit is better than this physical individual. So if you yourself don't make that woman you want, if you yourself don't make that man you want here in the physical, you'll never get satisfied with any woman.
How do we make this? Like, how do I make a woman I want?
You have the power of creation. You know, in our creative world, we create anything we want. You can create and design whatever you want. Anything we create. And the same things we know before you, maybe somebody before you make this chair, somebody created it in mind. Then maybe bring these things to the blueprint. Now it turns the physicality. Now the chair is existing, means he has put the existence into that chair. See, so that is the creative mind. You bring, you create, put the existence in, now bring it reality. That is what you want. When you decide what you want and how you want to live, because most of us, we keep on living how the society wants, how people want, how maybe the parents want, because we live for people to see. We don't do what favors us. So means we are living a life which is not ours. So we end up pleasing other people. But at the end of the day, we get hurt because we did not please ourselves. See, that is a problem. So when you do that, it doesn't matter whether society doesn't want that, whether these people doesn't want this, whether the other people did not live the way you want to live, because you are the creator of your own life. You create what you want, you create the way you want. You create whom you want to be with. It's you. Failure to do that, they will create for you. The society will bring for you a woman you want. They will give you a life you want. They will start creating for you the kind of job you want to live. So we'll do this job and also having a lot of pressures. Okay, leave it on that. We were back to the reason why albinos.
Now, before we get to Pygmies, kuna hii umeongelea kuhusu switching of gender kwa watu wako na mimba. How is this being done?
This being done in two ways. That those who have that age, because everything is just energy. It's energy that makes you to move, and any object is that energy. So when we have that energy inside us, within, and when we know how to ignite it, it happens without even using anything, like touching any stuff like herbs, whatever. No, it's through the mind, because it's the energy we push in our mind and makes it moves. So the same energy, you have you ever heard that there are people when they go to a funeral and when they look at any food, that food got spoiled. That is an energy. It is not bad. It's only that they use it in a negative way. Supposingly, we just sit down with this kind of people because it's a science. I told this is a metaphysical science that you can't get it from anybody. Even the Western doesn't have it. And we are blessed that we have this kind of physics and we have this kind of craft in us, that we can turn something to be something else without even touching them. So I think it can be in a positive way. When you call these people and make them wish something to happen in a positive way, it can happen. But due to they're living in a negativity perspective or a negativity energy, makes them to do everything in a negative ways. So negativity also only being brought by anger and jealousy. So when they feel that jealousy, they want to destroy. When they feel that anger, they want to destroy or fight back, which is not right. Why can't they also feel the happiness in them? Then they also make something which is good. At least it benefit, not that it always destroys. So witchcraft is having two ways. This wizards also has the two ways. Watasema wachawi wanakuwa na njia mbili, either moja ni ile mzuri na mbaya. So but now we only dwell in the bad things, but there are a lot of good things into these things. People doesn't know. People just afraid of when they hear somebody is a witch, they feel it's negative. No, witch is not even negative. The what we call the teleporting and telepathing, these stories of traveling the space. These things are very, 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 very something which is a good technology. Because when we are here and somebody can travel to US, somebody can travel to Uganda, at the same time she comes back through a craft, a certain craft or a certain plane. You see, when we just bring this in a positive way, not traveling to cause chaos, because most of them are just traveling to cause destruction. They're being sent to go to Uganda to kill somebody. They go to somewhere, they kill somebody, or do witches and whatever. So when they can travel this to bring something good in life, it can be good. Because teleporting, only few who does that. But most of the time we do them at night. Almost everybody does that. Telepathing everybody also does, because telepathing is just a communication through the mind. You can talk about somebody. Unfortunately, that person gets, or you want to call, let me call somebody. Then before you call that person also calls you. That's a telepathy.
Coincidence.
It's not a coincidence. It's a communication. You're communicating spiritually with the person. So the traveling also happens. That's telepathy. See. So I think a lot in this. Not that when we are just like people are like saying, oh, witchcraft. So they think something which is maybe satanic. There's nothing satanic here. It's only that we are doing it in a negative way. Most of us, we enter anger and jealousy into us, so we destroy so many things. But there are a lot of advantage, because if somebody can switch that child which is inside you, then there are a lot you can do in a positive ways. When you are giving birth to somebody once, there's the people who doesn't want boys, they want girls. The people who doesn't want girls, they want boys. You can go and switch that. Not that you're switching unknowingly. That's also not good to somebody. That also who cause, you have the spiritual arrows. They will send you those arrows and attack you. Those arrows might even kill you. If you are just not okay, they might kill you. Yeah.
Talking about tukimaliza story ya switching the babies, I think ladies can confirm this. Unaona akona mimba iko 8 months, amefanya scanning kwa hospitali 3 tofauti, zote zinamwambia amebeba mtoto kijana. Sawa? Ikifika ile siku ya kujifungua, anajifungua mtoto wa kike. Labda hii pia inakuwa spiritual.
Si nikwambia switching inaweza fanyika unknowingly or knowingly. You can also do your own switching, because if you want to give birth, you are tired of giving birth to boys. My friend, is only something simple ways. Sipendangi kuambia, and it works. When you do it in the right procedure, it works also. You go and look for, you want to give birth to girls. Okay. Go and buy the cloth, baby girl's clothes. Come with that clothes. Put it on your pillow. Under your pillow. Sleep with it for 3 days. Take these clothes to somebody on a street who has a baby girl somewhere. A street woman who has a baby girl somewhere. Give this dress to that kid as a zawadi. Make address it immediately during that time. Take these people to a restaurant. Buy for them food. Let them eat and say thank you. Then give them something, maybe a small shopping, as you maybe, it depends on how you can manage. That intention you have, say it while you are doing all this, without this mother knowing what you are saying. That one, when you are pregnant, and you've confirmed that you are going to give birth for a boy, and you don't want that, go and do that. Come back. Wait for your deliverance. Wait for that. You have switched it automatically. Because everything, these things were not just something, but this spirituality and witchcraft is not that something which is big. No. There's just some things which we do, just funny stuff, and it happens. It's only that we don't know the ways of doing them, but they work. Eh, So if you do that, maybe people will just say, "Oh, that one is not that." It's up to them. If you try, that's up to you. Don't try it if you know that you don't want the child you want. Don't try that.
Back to Pygmies.
Pygmies. Okay, these spirits, when they come and sleep with these women, they give pregnant, make them pregnant. It's not your husband who will make you pregnant. It's just maybe the husband will contribute on the physical, maybe the physicality, a little bit of the physicality, but they won't look like your husband, or even like you. That's why when you have a pygmies in your home, they doesn't look like you. Those pygmies, they look the same. Take one pygmies from here, Uganda, take another one from South Africa, take those one from Nigeria, go and pick 3 from Congo. They are like, they look alike. Go and pick albinos. Most albinos are looking alike. So these are the spirits which they come and sleep with these people, and they give their breeds physicality. Do you know pygmies? First of all, these are the spirits, the forest spirits. They live in the forest, and Mark, you know, when you go to those forests where they are living, you won't even see them in an easy way, but they will see you. But when they kidnap you also, unfortunately, they won't harm you unless you want to fight to them. They will take you to their kingdoms and teach you medicines and way of spirituality. When they let you go, you will be another different being. And that's how they normally take people through those things, because these are spirits. They exclude themselves from those places. They live in a different ways. The few you see are living with us, these were born in us. But there's another kingdom of pygmies, and they are being used in a spiritual purposes. These the same pygmies are being sent to do some of the spiritual process to people, because you won't see them. They disappear and appear at the same times.
Nishaona movie za Nigeria, mganga anatumia watu wake wa mkono ni mapigmies.
Pygmies ni watu wa mkono wengi sana. Pygmies ni watu, those are spirit. So they have pygmies, mostly they're using, they have genies and whatever they so called, the way they, maybe whatever they are calling those names. But most pygmies are being used in the spiritual missions, because they are only living in, you can't see them in your naked eyes. They have a different kingdom. They are living there comfortably. Do you know, even here in Kenya, there are some people who are living in water. I don't know, like Baringo here. They live in water. These are mummy waters, and they also breed there. They give birth there. They are not the same like us. Okay, but you will find people doesn't know some kind of those things. Also come to albino. Albinos are being used also in the spiritual purposes. From the nails to the hair has a spiritual use and benefit. That's why you see most of people are selling albinos because they are being used. Mostly albinos are being used for wealth. Pygmies mostly are being used for attack, and also when they want to possession, when they want to conquer a place. These are the pygmies are being used to fight these communities. But albinos are being used for prosperity and wealth. From their nails to their hair, to the skin, to the teeth. These are the importance in the spiritual world. So it depends with those who know, who use them for their own purposes. So you will find these people, they are very, I normally call them special in a society. So when you give them just a slight opportunity, they prosper more than any other person. And that's why I ask you, have you ever seen any funeral of albino? Have you ever attended any funeral of albino?
No, bado sijaiona.
Okay. Now these pygmies, have you ever seen where they are dying? Hospitali umewahi kutana nao? Na tena ukikutana na the pygmies like this, what will you feel? Is it the same way we'll meet with me? Normally we can just patch each other like that. It won't be the same. Lazima uangalie like the same.
Kwanza kuna pygmies fulani nilikutana nayo dem. Mpaka nilimkufia.
Yeah. So unaona, but unapata the wanafanana, hata wasichana wanafanana by the way. Wanafanana. And they're very special. People, people just take them in like lightly. But watu ukizaa pygmies kwa familia yako, if you are not keen, my friend, unatupa baraka. Ukitucheza now because you don't want them, ati sasa unaona wako less human whatever, my friend, au watu wame pygmies na albino wameshinda watoto wote uko nao, because this is a spirit sent. But baraka zenyu wote all stars ziko kwa hawa. So take them seriously and give them whatever they want, and they will transform that family.
And as well as you protect them, because tumeona watu wengi wanaua albino sana.
Si umejua, it was lack of knowledge. But these people who are lying to you to go and kill them, they are benefiting these children, but you are not benefiting anything. So what's the point? Fine, because as long as maybe you kill them, maybe umewaua for money purposes, because they're being used for money rituals, then wewe kama mzazi ulitupa, akachukuliwa, akatumika kama money rituals, wewe mwenyewe bado umebaki maskini, because without them you will never get that money. Imagine when they are existing is when you can also get money, but when they are not existing, you won't get money. Let them be and exist. When you give them just a very conducive environment, when it's maybe time for them to go to school, let them go to school like any other person. Because hakuna kitu, because albinism is just maybe lack of melanin percentage. I don't know why people are scared of this. Maybe wanaona ni kama something you need. They are very beautiful. Like these are like whites. Imagine, these are white people, because compared between albinism and white, they work the same. When you take albino here and take them to the Europe part of during the summer, the winter time, they survive very well, because the only time they don't want that sun, because they are melanin. The lack of neutron protons that are being produced in their body is also small. So we have the advantage because of our melanic nature, because the support of the protons, neutrons, and electrons in our body give us advantage to survive in the sun. So their survival during the sun is also very little. But it's not that, because there's another way they can apply the sunscreen and live in a cold places. They look very nice than even you can not separate them from white people, only their nose. So if you give them just a conducive environment, they become good and they prosper. Hao wanakuanga warevu sana. Ukiangalia mimi sijaona albino mjinga. Sijaiona. Not like pygmies, the short people. Mjinga. Sijaiona. maybe warefu but hawa warefu na sijui mambo yao, lakini pia wako na bahati kidogo.
Ukiongelea warefu, kuna hao boys wawili, umesema Pygmies wanafanana. Kuna hao boys wawili wana trend sahi, the other one from Bungoma and the other one wanafanana. Kuna labda au because hawako related, mbona wanafanana by the way?
Hao pia wanafanana, si ndio? Because hii pia ni the same gene tu. So when people are asking where were these people, so they're existing. In fact this guy alikuwa exist from kitambo, alikuwa anapita Kisumu
kondawa hizi basi za
I think I saw him during time of corona pia huko Kisumu alikuwa anatembea. People are not even shocked because now he is trending. People are shocked. The other guy was just a boda rider. People were not shocked with this story because walikuwa wamezoea. But because you have not seen, you have to be shocked. When you see that for the first time, you think it is something very weird. But they must look the same because hao watu ni spirit, not nini, sio watu wa kawaida.
A quick one before tumalize. Western Kenya, that's Uluyani, tumekuwa na Jehova Wanyonyi. Now of course tumekuwa na Jesus of Tongaren, sawa? So now the question is, Jesus yuko duniani ama yuko juu? Because ukiona Jehova Wanyonyi alikuwa anajiita Jehova Wanyonyi, sawa? Then na kuna watu walikuwa naamini kwamba Jehova Wanyonyi akienda kwake anaweza pona. Na and of course Jesus of Tongaren, najua kuna watu they believe the same.
Hiyo inataka topic on its own because it's very long. Inataka topic
Summarize ndio tupange siku.
So nikisummarize nitaiongelea. Tutaiangalia, you carry on to the next topic, haina shida. You know what? The word people doesn't know, you know people doesn't just understand the Bible. I don't know. I just don't, maybe I understand in different ways. Maybe sometimes I say that. But the Bible actually is a psychological book. It's not a metaphysical book. It's a psychological book. Or a mythology. It's not even a mythological book. The way people maybe take it as a myths and misconceptions. It's psychologically, spiritually. So these things, the Bible talks about the world of mind, the psychic mind. So when we talk about the Christ, who is Christ? I don't want to, the word Jesus normally, when I dig deeply, is not the name. Because when we talk about the Yahuwah, Yahusa, Isa, Jesus, this name has been changing each. During 225 ADs, these people created a physical Christ, Jesus, during the Council of Nicaea, a Constantino time. They created the physicality of Christ, which Christ was not living physically during the other time, because these things were books which was written, and it was called the Yahuwah, Yahuwah, according to the Hebrew, Yahusha, because the word J was not existing in Hebrew by the time. There was no J. So when you call the Jesus, the Islam cut is short to be Isa. So we call it the Jesus Christos. So the Christos is a
Legion Maria, that's how they pronounce.
It's not even Legio, that's the Latinos. Because Legios normally speak Latins. The Jesus Christos. So the Jesus Christos, these are another different something names. When we talk about the Christos, we talk about the now come to the another force, another energy you are talking about inside your body, the Christ in your body. So the Bible always talk about the you. It was talking about you, the Christ, which was to be ignited, activated, to be wakened in you. So the Christ has rise to come and save us. So rising is you rising your awareness of knowing the evil and the bad. That is salvation. the Christ. That's according to the Hebrew. Was talking about the man. So when we talk about human anatomy system, there's what we call the crystal oil. So kuna when there's a the pineal and the pituitary gland. There's one which is femininity and the other one is masculinity. So when they marry together, they produce a certain oil called the crystal oil. The crystal is in the brain. So that crystal oil will follow the vertebra, 33. That 33 vertebra represent the 33 years Jesus take into this world, and also die on 3 days. 3. You remember that? So the crystal oil follows the backbone. It's called this called spinal. What is the spine? It's a chain. The vertebra, when you calculate those vertebra, you call the 33 vertebra before you reach to the the hip bone. In the hip bone, there's a plate, Jacob ladder. So there is in also there's when you talk about there's a place in the Bible where that Jacob ladder he laid on the rock. So there's a hip bone here, and there's also a certain rock somewhere. So that rock is where the crystal laid and rest on the third day. You see, waiting for resurrection. So where is the resurrection here? Is in the Kundalini. Kundalini is the sexual energy. So some people will start calling me names here. So so in the Kundalini area is the sexual energy area. That oil will sit there. There's a bakuli flani. There's a plate. Is it a plate or it looks like a plate here in between there? It joins the hip bones in between there. So that oil will sit there for 3 days to resurrect. So when it resurrects, it comes back. There is another crossing. It will also happen. So that's why the crossing crucifixions happens in. It happens. There was no crucifixion which happens physically. Okay. This was talking about your mind. When crucifixion happens, which be the Christ's death, the Christ dies, then now it will resurrect. When it resurrects, the activation, because each and every month there is a change in our body system. So we change, our system change, depends on the solar system. So the Bible was talking about the human anatomy system. It was talking about the cosmic system, which is the solar system, because all this also will sit these all 9 planets. Talks about the Bible. You see. So when the realization, when crucifixion has happened, now we're waiting for the resurrection time. Now, when the oil, that oil, Christ has resurrected, you will now know difference between the light and the darkness. So that's where salvation comes in. So salvation is that was just a short story. I know people maybe will be lost. Just a short story of summarizing story of what I wanted to say. Now, when we talk about the solar system also, we have also around the 13th solar systems. We have 13 months. Jesus sits on the 13th. We have here the Virgin, the Virgo, we have the Saturn, we have the Neptune, Jupiter, and whatever. So where is the Saturn? The planets. These are the planets, okay? So when we talk about Saturn, we are talking about the Saturn is in the Bible. See, the Saturn in the planet is the same Saturn in the Bible we're talking about. So the Saturn in the planet is the morning star. When you wake up in the morning, on the east, you will see a certain star, bright star, in the morning, coming from the east. That is the Saturn. And it always has a ring, because it's the god of the ring. it has 3 rings. That Satan is God of the ring. Now, people will say this, that. So the characteristic of Satan, we give it to the Lucifer. So, morning star, light giver, you always brighten the morning before the sun. So when now, this is the Lucifer they were saying in the Bible. There's also another characteristic of Christ himself. We find the Christ also having almost the same character here. What is the problem? Is the morning star. In Kijaluo tunasemanga sulwe maro kinyi, the light giver, wisdom giver. So all these, we talk about the solar system. So the sun, here we talk about this, that's the Father. Without the sun, there is no life. The sun is the God. The moon, we talk about the mother, is the mother earth. Without the moon, there is no germination, there is no growth taking place. Do you know why the moon is called the mother? She always walk with the children at night. Have you ever seen a father walking with the children in any animal, human being? Fathers, they protect and they give food, they give protection. That is the sun. So that our African community also was classifying the cosmic as the ways of worshipping. So the stars are children's. That's why there are so many, you can't count them. But you can't count your mother. You have only one mother. You only have one father here. So that is the short story of, maybe the more will come. Now, when you talk about the salvation here, people get confused. Because salvation they're talking about is what they're shouting. That, oh, I'm born again, I'm born again. No. Being salvated is getting out from the darkness to the light. Before you know the light, you have to be in that darkness. There's nobody who knows what is happening in the darkness when he has never been there. There's nobody who will ever know what is happening in the light when he has never been in the darkness. You have to come out from the darkness for you to know the difference between the darkness and the light. So darkness and light, these are the same thing. The one having a lesser light, another one having a lesser darkness. It's the same thing. It depends with the state at what point you are in. That's why I said God, devil and God, these are state of mind. Depends with the state your level of consciousness is when you know this is godly and this is evilness. But there's no physicality that this is God and this is Satan. This is a state of mind, and most of them are manipulation. The evilness is the deeds we do. The goodness or godliness is the deeds we do to people. Not everything. You know, something might be good to you, but it might be bad to me. That's why I say maybe sometimes killing is good to some people. To soldiers and the Pokot people and the other communities. But to other people is offense.
Tukimaliza, nimesema tukimaliza mara mbili. Tukimaliza, I think kitu may come across my mind. Let's say life is good, everything is going fine. Then all of a sudden you are losing everything. What causes this?
Sometimes it's karma. Sometimes it's witchcraft. Yeah. You know, mm, things happens with the seasons and time. There is time to grow. There is time you also go down. It happens with the nature also. There's a period of time it's raining. There's a period of time it's drought. All these things balances, because when a certain season was so good, where maybe for example it was raining too much, you'll find the next season it will dry. Why? That water is going back to where it comes from, because life is a circle. There are period will be dry, then coming to now the rainy season comes in. So life is coming. There's when you look to maybe the plant, there's a time you'll find another plant has faded all the leaves, as if it is dry. It will goes like that until a certain season time. The leaves inaanza kutoka green, more green, and they also the branches looks more younger. The season for fading and the season for growing. There are seasons also in us human being. Things might work well for us. So that's why we have to know how to differentiate or to time our seasons, so that we don't be upset or be depressed with whatever is happening to us. So there's time we'll feel good, and there's time we'll feel bad. It also happens with the nature of when the death. There is time we'll see boys are dying, but there's a time that during that time, when you look, those who are giving birth, they're giving birth to boys, because of the circles. There's a renewal of this. So, what am I saying? We have to go down for us to come up. And we have to come up. So there's a time we have to go down for us to go. Because of that season, we have to just come down for us to start climbing again. But most of us, we don't know these seasons. We only stick on up, always up, always. When we want to go down, we feel it in another way. There's an example of eagle. Eagle stays 70 years. But when they reach at 40s, the feathers are heavy, the beaks are long, the claws are long. They cannot eat or catch a prey. They cannot fly long. Even that storm will even flip them away. So what do? They go on a certain rock somewhere, hill somewhere. They break those beak, break the nails. It is a pain process. It takes all the feathers out, and it stays there for more than 3 months until it gains another strength. The feathers grows, the beaks grows, the claws, and whatever. This gives this eagle energy, fresh energy to move to the next life. Supposingly, it could have remained the same because of a situation which he was into, the eagle could have died. But now, what does it take for that eagle to sustain or to remain alive? He has to go into a painful process, a hardship process. So whatever sometimes we go through a hardship for us to come back again to life, it's not easy. So that's why you feel some people are struggling for so many years to come back again to life. But some people give up and they later on die or give up completely. There's nothing which is permanent here. This life is not permanent. The only permanent here is the spirit which live eternity. Everything in this physicality are there for a period of time. And we have to know which time are we going to have them. Now, when we don't have them, are we still going to live, or we are going to go with them? So that has been the problem which is facing us, because sometimes we might own so many things in life, we might achieve everything, but we are not contented with what we have. We are not ourselves. We don't know even ourselves. That supposingly, before I get all this I'm now having, I was still living. Before I own these cars and houses, I was still living in a good life. Because what is good in life is that happiness and contented. But now, I'm now losing this. How am I going to live? Acceptance of the situation. Don't live of the past. Don't live your life because of the things you had before. That is what is killing us. Because somebody will say, I was owning this, and that. I was eating this. But now I cannot accept the situation. Now take a step. It's not the end of everything. Because we still have the energy. When you test yourself that, okay, I still have the energy. The same energy, you make all those things. With the same energy, you can come up with again and start over and make more than those you think you cannot make. I think that is maybe what. But when we continue living in what has gone, we live in the past. I'm telling you, that is the problem which is killing us right now. We are going to be depressed, we are going to be stressed, and we are going to die because of things which are not important in life. We have to change with the situation. We have to be flexible. Because at the end of the day, whatever you call your thing, you did not come with it. At the end of the day, whatever you call your things, you are not going with it. When you die, imagine you die. Somebody is dead right there, and he owns maybe billions of money. He owns a hotel of everything, but he has not eaten. Since he died, he has not eaten anything. Even if you come with everything you give to that person, so kule hata kula, hata umweke kwa mdomo hivi hata kula. Hata ile ni gari yake, simwambie siendeshe gari yako sasa tumekununulia. Hata uende mnunulie gari yake mpya ataendesha, because of what? Hakukuja na hizo vitu, anaenda na hizi vitu zenye amekuja nayo. At the end of the day, hata hizo nguo zenye umemvalia hata kukuja nayo. No. So sometimes we die because of things we did not come with. As long as that thing is not part of you, I normally say it. This clothes is not part of me. I can live without it. Naweza tembea hapo barabara bila kitu. And I still live. I don't mind what people will say, because many people are living with what society are saying. How many people are walking naked? Have you met with the walking naked? Yeah. They're walking naked, but they are surviving. See, but there's somebody who say that without that cloth I cannot live. How many people outside here, they are dying of stress because of their wife and the husband has left them? How many? Do you think these people are part of you? Wanaume wangapi ulipata before upatani na huyu nyang'au unataka kuachana naye? Hata wengine hata walikuwa wazuri kuliko huyu. How many people are dying because their children have neglected them? Uko ushago. Na how many wazazi uko ushago, these grandfathers and grandparents are living without even their grandchildren, and they have over 20 grandchildren. They are living alone and they are surviving. Ukienda kushago si wanakanga tu peke yako, wanapika tu kivyao. Na kuna wajukuu na aliwapikia nyinyi wanaume mkazaa na sasa siku hizi wako peke yao. That will show you that at the end of the day, life you will go alone. It's you alone. So when you depend on other people's because of something they hold for you, you are mistaken. When they withdraw that thing they are owing you, you are going to die. That is not part of you. We have to live independently. At the very first priority is to take care of yourself. Take care of that person which is inside you. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. Anything that makes this person to get hurt, just stay it away. Because at the end of the day, I'm telling you, whether you love somebody, you give them everything, at the end of the day, they can leave you at any time. The same way Gachagua na Ruto wanafanya sahi. So there's nothing which is permanent in life. You might think this is my brother, this is my brother, this is my sister, this is my wife, and then at the end of the day, it becomes painful. They can turn against you and hurt you or kill you. But when you know the importance of yourself, all this won't affect you. When you take care of it, how many people are outside? Yeah, they work from Monday to Monday, but they cannot have time for themselves. Watu wanaongea peke yao hapa kwa barabara. Because responsibility of the other one, responsibility of the other, responsibility of the other one. In fact, people are enjoying their money. When you go from Friday to Sunday, watu wanakula. Unaona wenye wanakaa kwa baa hapo. Wanakula jasho ya watu wengine wenye wanalia kwa nyumba. These people doesn't enjoy their money, but they're making other people to enjoy their money. They forget to tell themselves. They don't have time for themselves. At the end of the day, unapata mtu akitaka kukufa hivi, anataka kuongea kitu fulani. I wish I could have been given just one chance to make myself happy. Ningerudi kuishi.
Parting shot tukimaliza.
I think it may cut short. Inaweza enda for long. So only thing maybe the most important thing is just we love ourselves. Wacha tujipende. Kabla upende mtu yote, jipende cha kwanza, ujifanyie kila kitu, then penda mwingine. Hakuna mtu atatoka nje kukupenda. There is no one who will come outside there to come and love you. So hao wengine wanashindaga ukisema mimi sipendwi. My friend, you should be kind. Unafaa utandikwe. Wewe jipende, mwacha mwingine akupende. Usiseme ati mimi huwa sipendwi, mimi nikienda huko sipendi, mimi sijapata mtu ananipenda. Wewe ndio hujajipenda. Jipende kwanza, watu watakumwagikia huko wote wanakupenda.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Now tumekuwa naye Nabii Gogo. I think umepata one or two things kutoka kwake, and of course kwa social media alisema kila mahali ni Nabii Gogo. Ukitaka uko na shida yote tu ambayo una feel kwamba anaweza kusaidia kimitishamba, mental stuff and of course spiritual, unaweza tu mtafuta na mtasaidiana, au sio? Sina la ziada. Naitwa Andika Kalambada na hii ni Mzuka Kibao TV. Tunaona siku nyingine.